G'day people, we're back in South Fremantle and we're now on cafe number 6. So we started at the southern end of the beach with Bistro 21, which didn't have any bike parking. Then we moved on to Third Wheel, which has plenty of convenient, safe bike parking right out the front. And then we went to the Roasting Warehouse, which again has convenient, secure bike parking right out the front. Then the Continental Cafe next door, which also has secure, convenient bike parking out the front. And then the last one we did was Little Lefroy's, which has super secure, convenient bike parking out the front. And today we're going to be doing Ootong and Lincoln, which is kind of, a little bit further up the road. And as you can see, look at that. Nice, secure, convenient bike parking. God, we're on a theme here, aren't we? Now, after we've reviewed the cafe, we're going to just shoot up to the Boymborough Park to have a look at the new mountain bike trails, which are under construction. And you might notice in this photo that there's a bunch of bikes, and this couple turned up and told us about the construction of the mountain bike track. Anyway, so food was good, the coffee was good. Service was a bit slow because there was just one person on when we arrived, and it wasn't clear if we ordered at the counter or whether it was table service and stuff like that. But nice big cafe, but yeah, it obviously needs a number of people to run this thing effectively. And I guess with a lot of places, they just don't get staff these days. Anyway, as we're riding there, just pointing out all the different cafes along here, the Continental Cafe, then the Fremantle Roasters, and the bike parking out the front of each one. You can also see over the right-hand side, there's some red bike hoops as well. Then there's Little Lefroy's, which had a couple of hoops out the front. And then not far up the road is Ootong and Lincoln. And I'm told this place has been here for about a decade, so it's doing all right. A bit of seating in the side street, seating out the front, and look at that. Plenty of nice, secure, convenient bike parking. We didn't even bother locking the bikes up. We just lent them up against the hoops, sat down at the table next door, and I worked my way through what I would consider to be $50 worth of avocado, since they're about $5 each at the moment. Yeah, it was so much avocado I struggled to get home. But yeah, this bloke that showed up said, "Oh, you're riding an acoustic bike." Yeah, that was that was his term for a non-e-bike. But yeah, this mountain bike trail. So he'd been involved in trying to get this thing off the ground. Said it had been 18 years since they first proposed it. Now, obviously, it wasn't too far from where we were having breakfast, so we decided we'd just ride up to the Fremantle golf course and try and find some sign of the construction work. And interestingly enough, that couple said they owned 2 cars, but since they got the e-bikes, one of them was gathering dust and cobwebs and never being used, because they were doing all their kind of short trips around the area on their e-bikes and just absolutely loved it. So that was interesting to see. Now, in order to find the mountain bike track, we just listened for the sound of machinery, and all we could hear was this bobcat going beep, 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 and we kind of honed in on that. And this is all we could see. It's just a big cloud of dust on the other side of a fence. Yeah, we've got no idea what the track looks like or where it goes, because everything was obviously fenced off, and we couldn't find a good spot to have a view of it. But I think it's going to turn out to be an absolutely smashing bit of mountain bike infrastructure. And interesting that they're building it, in this, I guess, patch of bush next to an 18-hole golf course. Good use of the land, I guess. Not sure where all the money came from, but, it's a mountain bike course. So yeah, Ootong and Lincoln. Yeah, look, I really liked the menu. It looked fantastic. Yep, as you can see, good, secure, convenient bike parking out the front. And, there's a theme here. All these places have got secure, convenient bike parking, and they're easy to get to on good bike infrastructure. So the traffic's not as bad as it is, and the place has got a really nice, relaxed vibe to it, the whole suburb. And I think it just shows this is the kind of thing we can get if we if we enable people to get around on foot or by bike. You just take a lot of the stress out of the suburb, and it just becomes a much more comfortable place to live. And surely that's something we should be aspiring to.